Hello and welcome everyone. As I forget to press play and manage to have to clear my throat just after I start recording. So we're back with episode number 25 of Community Cast here on the Sarcasm Gaming YouTube channel. I am of course your host, the vocal terrorist Jesse Rain. So I'm just going to get quickly into this game, and then I'm going to talk you through a few things that are going on. So first up, we have our player on the clan Silver. He's Grand Maestra. He's a Red Terran, but of course, sending us this wonderful replay is none other than Team Betamaxx's Wolfy, and he'll be our Blue Protoss for today. Now, some of you might be thinking, "Hey, I sent you a replay before this bloke did," and that's correct, you did. I have one more that will be up by the time you see this from Nifty Nathan that I recorded a long time ago and then needed to wait until I could render it properly. Unfortunately, I then thought what I would do is today take the time to finish all my Wings of Liberty replays that everyone else sent. I had about 4 or 5. The update to the user interface means I can no longer run replays from any previous version. Every time I try to do it, it disconnects me from Battle.net, which is fine, but then it crashes before the replay finishes loading. So unfortunately, I will be only able to take replays now from after the latest update, which is a pain. So I'm going to just state this. I've got 2 replays from Wolfy. They will be the last replays from Wings of Liberty. Everything from then on will be Heart of the Swarm once release happens, because it's not that far away. It's like just over a week away, so it won't be a problem. As you notice, I'm still working on stuff to make the intro happen better, because right now I'm using OBS to record this, and essentially in doing so, it cannot run a video automatically. So I'm screen capturing from GOM Player, then trying to switch into this scene and hope that everything works correctly. That's just something we're going to have to do, because otherwise, as we discovered with the previous replay that will be going up, it takes me an hour to render a video just to add that like 6-second intro to the beginning of every video, and I don't have time to do that. So we're going to be doing it this way, and hopefully it works out for everyone. If any of you know a really good workaround or a plugin or something I can get for OBS 64-bit, please let me know. I will be your friend literally forever. I will not die just to remain your friend. I may crash my PC though. So don't know why we're getting some of the lags going on here, but nonetheless we are getting them. My PC should be running fine by now. It might be the fact that OBS is in the background of this, so we'll play about with that for the next replay. Still learning stuff, still trying new setups and the like. Spent the whole day cleaning my PC. Okay, this lag is getting terrible and it shouldn't happen. Yeah, everything here is fine. It reset my settings, so chances are some of my settings are just totally wonky. So we're actually going to be totally professional and open up my settings. Oops, come on. Well, this is lagging something awful today. Here we go. That's fine, it can actually run that. Why is this set to custom and everything is ultra? Is everything on ultra? It's suggested is actually extreme, but let's drop everything down to high, because I don't think that changes anything here. Okay. I think that's actually what I normally have it on. So, sorry about that, guys. I know it's very unprofessional of me. And here we go. So as you can see, Wolfy is going for this kind of one base play here with the double gas straight off that first base. Not going to be a 1-gate expand. It will be something, from the looks of it, robo-based. Although he has a ton of minerals, so yeah, it will be a 1-gate expand, just with the double gas. I mean, we've seen people do that. It's slightly safer. It means you definitely get the sentry out, and you have enough gas to go straight into another sentry. But personally, I like to just do the 1 gas opening straight into the Nexus. This probe here, of course, cannot get up into the main, so we'll hide it back here, and he just wants to wait and see, does a command center go down. As a Protoss, you're always very, very wary of 1-base plays, and speaking of 1-base plays, what do we have here? Oh my, that's a Ghost Academy. Yes, it is. We know what they look like, and look at this. He is worried that this is going to get scouted by an observer, so he puts a missile turret up here. The only way this ghost canopy then is being seen is if the observer comes in from this side, and most players will just rally it straight from a robo, straight from here, all the way down this map, and directly over this missile turret, so it will die before it gets to see the Ghost Academy. So we do have the robo going down now off the back of 2 gates. So again, the safe opening, you do sometimes see 3 gate with the robo, but Wolfie instead choosing to go for the forge. So it looks like Wolfie wants to play for either a timing attack or just a little bit more of a late game play, because of course those upgrades will start to come into it. And we do have +1 already on the way out for our Terran player Grand Maestra as well. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Gonna have to wait and see what both players are really up to. I mean, we know there are ghosts, but what are they for? Is he gonna go for just a heavy attack with this? This factory goes up, a reactor goes down, medevacs, and the first 2 medevacs pop out. He goes out with ghost support, uses EMP to try and get those sentries down, so they've got no force fields, no guardian shields, and then just bust up here and just destroy Wolfie. That's the plan. Has Wolfie seen something? No. Perhaps he saw this, but Wolfie just throwing up the here we go again. Perhaps it's the fact that he hasn't seen this command center. I think that's more what it is. I think Wolfie is very much used to the one base play of the Terran. Nice scan there. So this is definitely a 1 base all-in from Grand Maestra. It has to be. His expansion is going to be so far behind. If we take a look at the worker count, it's already 33 to 23 in favour of Wolfie. Almost at full saturation off 1 base. Of course, he does have SCVs elsewhere building, which is the reason he's not closer to that. Nonetheless, there's quite a few Marauders out as well. He's seen the composition of this. He's seen that it's mostly Zealot. So building Marauders, interestingly, I mean, it goes both ways, really. Stalkers are not so great against Marauders. I much prefer Zealots. And bam, that Observer goes down. So this Ghost Academy did not get scouted. Grand Maestra goes out to check, make sure there's no army there. Really, really wise to do. Sometimes Observers will have an army following them, so it is always best to check. If we look, +1 defense is almost finished, and then I imagine he'll go straight into +1 ground weapons. It depends what else he wants to do. No extended thermal lance out yet from him, and in fact just a second observer on the way. He really wants to know what's going on in there, but it's going to be hard to do so with Grand Maestra keeping an eye out. Oh wow, straight into another observer. Wolfie being very, very careful. Rather than trying to rush these Colossus out, starting extended thermal lance now. But with no Colossus on the way, he will be slightly behind in terms of that production. And he could really do with a Colossus or 2 out by the time this hits. Is that just 1? No, there are 2 ghosts with this. Okay, yeah, there's 1 at the back, 1 at the front. So 2 ghosts with this. With those EMPs, could be so damaging. There are only 4 sentries. And it would be very easy to catch these 3 all in an EMP at once as they start to move down the map. So this observer sees the army coming towards him. Hopefully Wolfie will have spotted the ghosts within that, so he will not charge down. He needs to take a defensive formation up here, try and get a good split with these sentries. Preemptive force fields, but that's fine. Wolfie does want to take this 3rd base, but it's not going to happen at the moment. Not with this army here. So this pylon will die. Could have done with a cancel, but nonetheless, interesting that Grand Maestra is going to try and come in through here, because I feel like this is actually a worse place for him to go in, with force fields more able to effectively split the army. See, and there we go. See, 2 force fields almost completely blocks it off. 1 Marine can come through at a time, but 1 Marine will just die. And with the Colossus here as well now, it's going to start to really throw out some DPS. So Stalkers start to fall. Sentries do fall. But the Colossus is doling out this damage. It will fall, though, to those Marauders if he isn't careful. 2 medevacs here now, but they are very, very late. Already some Marines and Marauders dead. The Colossus falls. This is going to be a very close, very tense fight. Great force fields again, trapping some of these units in front of the Zealots. Forces a lift up. He has 3 Marauders, 1 Marine left. Really, really nice there from Wolfie. So now Grand Maestra is going to try and come up here, but these Stalkers are totally going to catch this. No way is he getting in there. One Stalker falls, but that is it, and these Betamaxx will die. So one goes down, the other stays up, but that was brilliant from Wolfy. Wolfy is now miles ahead. Look at this, command center down now, but 42 probes to 26 SCVs. Grand Maestro is going to be playing catch-up all game long, and look at the amount of gates that Wolfy is just throwing down now. He's just having none of it. He's like, I'm going to get a ton of gates, and I am going to have an army, just in case you try this bullshit again. So, Robo Facility now not making any Colossus. He's very, very low in terms of cash. And he really wants to just focus on this Gateway Heavy Army. Not so worried about that tech. Perhaps even going to throw down a Twilight Council very, very shortly. Especially he will, because the addition of the second Forge means that he wants to go straight into +2/+2 as soon as this +1 attack finishes. And so he will of course need a Twilight Council for that to happen. Third base also going to go down for Wolfy. Really, really good play. I'm seeing a lot of improvements in Wolfy's play that it makes me very, very happy to see. Betamaxx have really put time and effort into helping make Wolfy a better player, and it's beginning to show. Like it's been a worthwhile investment. So here goes the Twilight Council for Wolfy as predicted. Colossus production restarts, now being chronoed out just to catch up. Because of course he wanted to delay it to get out that second Forge and to get out all those gates, adding another gate, in fact another 2 gates, just to help wall off this area and make it harder for the Terran to just stim up the ramp. It's a lot more defensible now, even with Ghosts out. So what are we looking at in terms of the Ghost count again? Still just sticking with 2. It's starting to catch up a bit in terms of SCVs. What are we looking at? See, Wolfy nowhere near saturation on these 2 bases yet, which is a problem. He has cut probe production, so he will not quite have the macro he should have, but it's understandable. Like, it's such a hard thing to keep track of, especially when you're wanting to get out so many units, so many tech structures and gateways all at once. It's very, very difficult to also keep up with your SCV production, probe production. And it's nice to see that he's gone back into it now. Armory finishes up, here we go, from Grand Maestro, so we'll be able to go into +2 attack upgrades from his second eBay once he has the minerals and gas to spend. So +2/+2 is on the way from Wolfy, along with Psystorm. Once he gets High Templars out, he's going to start wrecking this Terran bio. With only 2 Ghosts produced, that's not enough. You can get enough High Templars out that even 2 EMPs won't stop them, and no amount of snipes will help. You need a lot more Ghosts than this as you head towards a late game. And look at this, Grand Maestro's going to try and get a 3rd up. It's just pretty risky for him. He does not have a big army. So should Wolfy see this, it's probably a good time for Wolfy to move out and put some pressure on. So let's just take a look. Does he see it yet? No. He's going to take down this factory instead if he can. Factories, of course, with high amounts of health, really annoying when you use the scouting buildings like this, but it will burn down eventually, even if it got away here. But there's no safe place for it, and bam, the factory goes down. Which means no additional starpots, and look at this. This is something we need to talk about. We have ship weapons level 1 coming out for the Vikings to deal with the Colossus, of which there are 2. There's 2 Colossus. Right now, there's no more coming out of here at this point, because they're all High Templars. And that's going to be a problem, because as we saw, I mean, there's 3 Vikings. 3 Vikings isn't a great deal. That's a pretty nice number when you're only up against 2 Colossus. But putting the money into ship weapons level 1, that would have been better spent perhaps on +2 armor, perhaps on an extra production structure, all that kind of good jazz. So I like this, an observer out in this centre of the map, here on Entombed Valley, just checking to see if Grand Maestro decides to move out again. Meanwhile, this is shaping up to be a really good composition. We've got a lot of sentries here that we will not need in the later game, but it's still pretty handy. When you go Zealot heavy like this, you do need some sentries just to force field behind your opponent so he can't run away from you. You don't want him retreating after you charge. So 3 more gateways coming down, as I realise I've said so about 400 times so far. And there it is again. I just like starting my sentences with it. We've got 4 ghosts out now, still not a great deal, but it's going to be nice. With good control, it's going to cause some problems here for Wolfy. But I think Wolfie's got enough to handle it. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that works out for him. And oh yeah, we got nukes! We got them nukes! Everyone loves to see a good nuke, even Protoss players. We all enjoy watching the nukes. And to be honest, we want to see one go down in this game. We don't want to see it hurt Wolfie too much. We want him to win, because we're here at Sarcasm Gaming and we're very friendly. And look at this, going back into Colossus production now off the back of the High Templars, even adding a second Robo, so he can do a full switch if he moves out and finds there are way too many ghosts. If there's an overmake on ghosts, he can kill the Vikings down, and then just start spamming Colossus, because he will not have enough Vikings to fight back. Which of course is where the ship weapons upgrades do help in the future, because less Vikings will do more. You'll have to forgive me once again for the yawns. I'm still taking citalopram and it's still causing that. I don't actually know any way to fix it at this point in time. If anyone else has any experiences with taking citalopram and problems with yawning and the like, please let me know, because it makes it very, very difficult to continue to do my job like this. But I also don't want to stop taking it, because that's kind of dangerous, as we all know. Bunch more Tech Lab barracks going down. We've got 2 more here, and of course 2 making. But Wolfie has now taken the centre of the map. And I feel it's a real shame that he missed this timing on third, because there was a really, really good time for him to move in. But instead Wolfie wants to play for the late game, which is completely fine for a Protoss up against the Terran. A Protoss late game is still really, really strong. Once you get this Death Ball composition up, with the Colossus backing it, a ton of charge lots, just an Archon for tankiness, and a load of High Templars here. So here come a few Zealots just up into that third. Not only does it give him an idea of what's going on, it forces Grand Maestro to react. He pulls his whole army in here, and Wolfie gets to see, okay, it's a mainly Marauder composition. So he should totally do a switch into carriers. Am I right? I'm totes right. All about them carriers when you're a Protoss. I want to see more carriers. So we're at the point where all upgrades are done for Wolfie, and he's going to start shield upgrades. Because at this point, he's got the cash, and why not? Doesn't really help against ghosts, because EMP's OP. But it will help against the Marauders slightly, especially for things like Archons, which have absolutely no health whatsoever. What is it, 10? Yeah, I thought it was 10. So here come 4 Cloaked Ghosts on a sniping mission of revenge. Good EMP, but misses the Archon, and that's the real big problem there. And now we can't really go any further. We do have an Observer here, and these Ghosts will die a hideous death. Few Zealots take them down, and here come the Marauders. They've already stimmed themselves into oblivion, and here come the High Templars from the side! Side storms, oh yeah, and now all these Marauders are in the red. Wolfie has absolutely got this. The Colossus will start to go down to these Vikings, but it doesn't matter, because what does Grand Maestro have? Nothing! Absolutely nothing. War, what is it good for? That's right. It's as good as Grand Maestro's army. Absolutely nothing. Here comes Wolfie riding it up into the third. He's going to take down these missile turrets. Will he lose his final Colossus? No. This Colossus will survive with 11 hit points. He's going to take down the missile turret, so make sure it stays up, continuing to do the damage. And Wolfie has got this game won. Really nice positioning of the High Templars. Just making sure that they would not be caught by the initial Terran stim bombardment. Bringing them in from the side, losing them, but it didn't matter because he'd already hit those side storms. And once you hit those, there ain't no Terran gonna survive. So the third is gone. Wolfie is on 4 bases. It's 63 probes to 34 SCVs. The income is incredible. It's going to take a nuke of epic proportions to win him this game. Charge lots coming in. Stim's going down, but it's not enough because the Colossus is backing it up. We have Archons. And Grand Maestro was defeated. That's right. BTMXWolfy takes this game. So guys, that's it for this community cast. Don't forget to check out www.sarcasmgaming.com for more videos and for more content in the future, and also for a list of all our sexy servers that you can come and join, including our TeamSpeak server. I have been your host, the Vocal Terrorist Jester, and I'll be back shortly with the final Wings of Liberty replay I intend to do for the community cast. After that, it is nothing but hot all the